The following program is the work of broadcast students from the British Columbia Institute of Technology. BCIT Magazine features news stories from around the Lower Mainland which were produced over the past week. Responsibility for the content of the show rests completely with the students and their instructors.
Today on BCIT Magazine, a new park board plan faces community backlash. This man doesn't remember taking part in the Stanley Cup riot. And 2 missing dogs are returned to their rightful owners. Hello and welcome to BCIT Magazine. I'm Jennifer Ferguson.
And I'm Amber Rockcliffe. We're on location at the Richmond Olympic Oval. You may recognize this building. It was the home for speed skating during the 2010 Olympic Winter Games.
Yes, it was, and today's broadcast marks exactly 1 year to go until the next Winter Olympics in Sochi, Russia. And now to our top stories. After a heated 9-hour meeting, Vancouver's Park Board has voted to go ahead with a controversial revenue-sharing plan for its community centers. As my co-anchor Amber Rockcliffe reports, the plan is facing a lot of community backlash.
These talented dancers make their way around the floors of Killarney Community Centre, and they aren't the only ones who rely on Vancouver's rec centres. From swimming to aerobics to community bingo, there's no doubt the centres bring people together. But the revenue from these programs could soon be controlled by Vancouver's Park Board, and many people aren't happy about this.
We have a real concern that there's no guarantee that years down the line that money will stay in community centres. It could be funneled off into general revenue and used for whatever the Park Board feels is necessary at the time.
Currently, 6 community centres like this one oppose the plan, with 13 others saying they are willing to negotiate the proposal. But many still question how the Park Board is going about the revenue-sharing plan, saying more transparency is needed.
And we even heard from presidents of associations last night who are in the "will accept this" column, saying that the way that this proposal is written is not what we really signed on for, and that there needs to be some changes in the slides.
We contacted representatives from the Vancouver Park Board and they were unavailable for comment, but Park Board Commissioner Nikki Sharma says there's misinformation about what happened at the meeting. She says what they voted on was a framework for the staff to negotiate with the community centre associations. Sharma says she hopes new funding agreements will be finalized by July 1st. But until that time, those who run these programs are seeking more transparency with the Park Board and better negotiations. Amber Rockcliffe in Vancouver for BCIT Magazine. The first person to plead not guilty to charges related to the Stanley Cup riot began his trial this week. Police say the man smashed a window and the act was caught on tape. My co-anchor Jennifer Ferguson was there and has more on this story.
Until now, all accused Stanley Cup rioters have been sentenced after pleading guilty. 26-year-old Spencer Kirkwood is the first person to plead not guilty to charges of taking part in a riot and mischief. Kirkwood had his first day in court this week. BC Provincial Court has heard that Spencer Kirkwood was caught on security video using a street barricade to smash the glass of a downtown office building. Kirkwood, however, says he has no memory of breaking the glass or taking part in any of the events of the Stanley Cup riots at all. He says he was drinking at a friend's house and watching the game and woke up the next morning with absolutely no idea what happened the night before. The court was told that while Kirkwood doesn't deny he was there that night or that he appeared in this video, he later gave police a statement describing the huge gap in his memory from that night. Charles Gauthier is the executive director of the Downtown Vancouver Business Improvement Association. He helped downtown business owners through the aftermath of the riots and has been following the sentencing of those that pled guilty very closely.
I think it has to be, individual. It can't be one size fits all in terms of everyone going to jail. And I think that we'll just have to kind of see. I think I'm more interested in what the outcomes are of these kinds of sentences, and has it changed the lives of those people in the long run. I think I'd be more interested in that than throwing someone in jail and just meting out that kind of revenge.
To date, the Crown has charged 173 people in the massive police investigation. If found guilty, Kirkwood faces possible jail time, house arrest, or community service. Jennifer Ferguson in Vancouver for BCIT Magazine. The owner of a Vancouver dog walking company called Creature Comforts is relieved the dogs that were stolen while in her care have been safely returned. The dogs were stolen along with her company truck near Woodland in East 11th Street earlier in the week. 2 dogs were located nearby, but 2 were made missing overnight, including the owner's dog. Dog lovers at a nearby dog park were surprised to hear about the theft.
Yeah, it's pretty shocking. Like, you gotta wonder what the person is gonna do with the dog, so it's definitely a worry.
I thought it was pretty ridiculous, and I felt really sorry for the dog owners and really sorry for the person walking the dogs, because it's the last thing you want to have happen.
In a situation like this, I really feel like Creature Comforts was not irresponsible. I mean, what happened was a 1,000,000-to-1 accident. I mean, obviously they must feel terrible, and I know that the owner must feel just worried sick right now.
The dogs were found the following afternoon in Agassiz, almost 120 kilometers from where they were stolen. They have since been reunited with their owners.
After only 9 days of bargaining, management of the Coquitlam golf course locked out its 19 unionized groundskeepers when they rejected a final offer and a collective agreement. Golf course employees have been picketing for 3 days after they were locked out Monday morning. QPU Local 4964 representative Sung Wong says they want a fair deal.
The membership is not here about money. Their focus is on working conditions, language that holds management accountable, makes them fair, makes them transparent, and hopefully, that soon they'll end this lockout, come back to the table, and we can get this all wrapped up.
We just feel that, it could have easily got resolved without getting to this point.
In the meantime, non-bargaining staff are taking care of the grounds, but union members hope to have an agreement before golf season. Coming up next on the show, one Vancouver tattoo shop has a unique offer for Valentine's Day. And one Richmond library gets thousands of new children's books.
They say if you want a wish to come true, never tell anyone. But there is one wish that can make the difference between life and death. And this wish can only come true if you tell someone. Please, let your family know you want to be an organ donor.
Standby graphics, ready, camera one.
If you want to experience the fast-paced world of news.
Today on BCIT Magazine, striking.
Make magic on a movie set.
Frame.
And action. Or bring your creative ideas to life. BCIT's hands-on training will get you started. BCIT Television and Video Production. Your possibilities start here.
And while Vancouver may be the most expensive city, it is also the first city in Canada to have a disease-killing robot. Thankfully, Trudy the robot isn't after the human race, but it is programmed to kill germs and potentially deadly viruses at Vancouver General Hospital. As my co-anchor Amber Rawcliffe reports, the innovation could mean big things for the future of disease control.
Disinfecting aborted.
She's a silent killer, but don't worry, she's on our side. Moving at the speed of light, the robot Trudy Smart UVC uses ultraviolet rays to kill bugs like the norovirus, the flu, and C. difficile.
This project is a 5-month trial in which we're trying to see how effective this Trudy machine is in conjunction with our normal cleaning.
Pathogens are hardy bugs that hang around on surfaces despite cleaning, particularly the bug C. difficile. It takes about an hour for Trudy to clean a hospital room at Vancouver General Hospital, and Dr. Wong says the robot is perfectly safe as long as nobody is in the room.
The UV that's emitted from the machine can damage DNA of both bacteria and human cells.
Fortunately, there are safeguards. The VGH staff set up a monitor at the room's entrance, and if anyone opens the door, the monitor automatically turns off the machine. Though there are other bug-killing UV machines out there, Trudy is unique. She can map out every nook and cranny of a room.
So what it does is these sensors actually get light which is reflected back from the walls in all parts of the room, and this ensures that a proper dose of the UV light is given to the entire room.
If the tests go well, Trudy could be on the job permanently within a year and used in addition to regular housekeeping and infection control. Amber Rockcliffe in Vancouver for BCIT Magazine. Heart disease is one of the leading causes of death in Canada, and for most people, tattoos aren't the first thing they think of when it comes to finding a cure. But one Vancouver tattoo shop is bringing the two together for a new fundraiser. As Virginia McConkey found out, the tattoos are raising awareness for heart health while also celebrating the life of a friend gone too soon.
Zoe Paulette is getting a tattoo today, and while that's nothing new for her, this tattoo has a special purpose.
How's that spot feel?
Is that the top? It was designed to raise awareness for Heart and Stroke Month and celebrate the memory of a close friend.
Jimmy was the owner and the lead tattoo artist at the shop. He passed away very unexpectedly at the beginning of January from a heart attack. So we wanted to do something in his honor and his memory, and something that would also help.
Zoe and her coworkers decided on the tattoo sale that allows them to do what they do best while raising money for charity.
I'll throw some purple in, just for fun.
This is one of the flash sheets that we have for the Valentine's Day Heart and Stroke fundraiser. This is the one I've done.
What the flash sheets are is just a bunch of small tattoos, Valentine's Day themed, and people can just come in and pick one for $60, which is cheaper than you would normally get for a tattoo. It just seemed fitting to do this fundraiser and donate the proceeds to the Heart and Stroke Foundation.
The fundraiser is already gaining a lot of attention on social media, and the team is hoping that attention means big donations in Jimmy's name.
He would love the idea of getting a lot of people into the shop, hopefully a lot of new people, and just tattooing them, which is obviously what he loved and cared about.
According to the Heart and Stroke Foundation, heart disease kills 1 in 3 Canadians before their time and is the #1 killer for women. Having experienced the disease firsthand, the people here at Lotusland Tattoo are hoping their donations from the fundraiser can play a part in lowering those numbers. Virginia McConkey in Vancouver for BCIT Magazine.
Ready?
Yep.
TED stands for Technology, Entertainment and Design, and it's known for bringing great minds from around the world together to discuss new ideas. For the last 30 years, TED's annual conference has taken place in California. But as Angela Jung reports, TED's new home will be right here in Vancouver.
What we do know is, if you're not prepared to be wrong, you'll never come up with anything original.
Ken Robinson's TED presentation has nearly 15 million views online. TED Talks have come to Vancouver in the past, but this one is different.
This is the TED conference that started everything, and the fact that it is coming to Vancouver, coming to our backyard, is just incredible.
Amber Sessions believes that winning this bid will bring the same spotlight to the city as the 2010 Games.
Hosting TED is a catalyst for Vancouver and for Canada to host future, monumental, large-scale, complex meetings. And it's also an incredible platform for us to reach these influencers, these thought leaders that come for TED, for us to reach them and be able to share Vancouver and Canada's amazing tourism experiences.
According to TED, Vancouver was chosen because world-renowned hotels are just steps away from the conference. And Claire Smith says that the space for the event was another reason why the city won the bid.
The ballroom is magnificent. I think probably what makes it most stunning is that the breathtaking views of the North Shore Mountains and the harbor from the actual ballroom space.
A select 1,200 to 1,500 people can attend, but Sessions believes that the conference will change the dynamic of the city.
It'll be inspiring and interesting just to be walking the streets during TED and, you know, rubbing shoulders with some of these people at our local cafes and our local restaurants.
Now, just because the TED conference is coming to Vancouver, it doesn't mean it's any easier to watch it live. For this 4-day conference, it costs $7,500, and it's known for attracting CEOs, scientists, and other intellectuals. There's a strict application process. Angela Jung in Vancouver for BCIT Magazine.
Well, Vancouver isn't the only city to welcome TED. Our reporter Angela Jung joins us now. Angela, tell us about the unique event that is coming to Whistler.
Yes, Amber, one of TED's spin-off events, TED Active, is coming to Whistler the same time that Vancouver will welcome TED Talks. Both conferences will run from March 17th to the 21st of next year, but people can start registering as early as next week. Now, they are confirmed for 2014 to 2015, but many people have their fingers crossed that TED can stay for much longer than that. Back to you.
Thanks, Angela. A provincial literacy project is encouraging a new generation of thinkers. The program aims to start children reading at a younger age, and one Richmond library has taken on the challenge. Connor Danoon has more.
When the Richmond Public Library heard of the province's literacy initiative, they dove headfirst into the program by purchasing over 3,000 children's books. The library's goal is to create an environment where kids will succeed in reading from an early age. The Richmond Library has been overwhelmed with the positive response from the community.
They're almost all gone, so I guess they like it. And we put up all the books everywhere, all around here, and they're all gone except for a little section here. I think people in Richmond, they really like the books.
It cost the library about $45,000 to add the 3,000 books to their children's collection, and they're proving to be very popular as most of the books have been signed out. Those that are left and are a part of the family literacy program have this green sticker on them, letting parents know the book is good for early readers. Parents are thrilled their library has added thousands of kids' books and is keeping up with modern services.
Oh, I love it. Last week I came here Tuesday. I saw, wow, so many new books. Curtis George and those Eric Curl book. Oh, okay, so I bought lots of new books. But this week came, no, nothing left. Yeah.
That's awesome. The more you know, I believe in education, and even with my kids as well, I always told them read, read, read.
I think that's a really very important and valuable assets to everybody. You know, the public library provides so many informations and everybody can access.
The library offers other conveniences to get kids reading, including e-books for iPads and daily storybook readings. Connor Danoon in Richmond for BCIT Magazine.
Lower your heat and put on a sweater because it's National Sweater Day. The annual event encourages people to conserve energy by putting on a warm and cozy sweater. Coming up on our show after the break, learn some lower body fitness tips from an expert at the Richmond Oval. And a local advertiser gives his take on this year's Super Bowl ads. Stay tuned.
They say if you want a wish to come true, never tell anyone. But there is one wish that can make the difference between life and death. And this wish can only come true if you tell someone. Please, let your family know you want to be an organ donor.
Standby graphics, ready camera one.
If you want to experience the fast-paced world of news,
Today on BCIT Magazine, striking.
make magic on a movie set,
Frame.
and action, or bring your creative ideas to life, BCIT's hands-on training will get you started. BCIT Television and Video Production. Your possibilities start here.
Miller, and this is your BCIT Magazine Community Calendar. Joining us now is Shahid Devji, who is the Communications Coordinator for the Richmond Olympic Oval. So tell us, what's happening here in February?
Well, it's a pretty busy month here at the Oval in February. A variety of events, and the highlight is rhythmic gymnastics at the end of the month. The top gymnasts from across Canada and across the world will be competing here at the end of the month.
Tell me a little bit about the international fencing competition that's happening here.
So also high-level competition. It's one of 3 events across the world and the only one in Canada where the world's top men's fencers will be competing and the public can come watch here at the Oval.
That's great. And for parents wanting to keep their kids preoccupied during spring break, what do you have to offer?
It's definitely easy to do during spring break here. There's spring break camps for all ages, hockey, badminton, soccer, and a great one called Get Skills, which includes everything.
Great. Well, we're looking forward to that. Thank you so much for joining us today. That's it for your community calendar for this week. I'm Kaylee Miller.
Welcome back. If you're just tuning in, you'll notice we're here at the Richmond Olympic Oval. This stadium houses a number of sports and fitness programs, and I met with personal trainer Rose Van, who showed me the best 30-minute lower body workout.
I'm just going to teach you just 4 exercises that you can put back to back. It's like a short mini circuit. And the idea is that you want to do them back to back with no rest. And when you finish the 4 exercises, you would take about like a 10-second to 15-second transition time, and you start the round again. So your goal is to want to do at least 5 to 15 rounds, less than 25 minutes. So obviously, if you're just starting out, I wouldn't suggest you try 15 rounds unless you're at a certain fit level. 2, go, 3, go, 4, go, 5, go, 6, go, 5, 6. 7. Remember speed. Good. Keep going. 6, 10. 7. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good job. How's that feel? So
Well, I'm definitely not an athlete, but our next guest sure is. Our reporter Amber Rockcliffe joins us now with Vancouver's own Olympic athlete, Nicole Gerke. Amber?
Thanks, Jen. So Nicole was the only representative at the 2010 Olympic Games in London, 2012 Olympic Games in London in women's windsurfing. So very exciting. Nicola, you were just down in Miami for a month training with the International Sailing Federation. Tell us a little bit about what that was like.
Well, it was great. I'm sailing a new class now in the Olympics. It's a catamaran, and it's the first time this catamaran has made it to the Olympic scene. So we got our boats early January, put them together, and then had to learn how to sail them. So with the World Cup finishing off at the end of January.
So with the 2016 Summer Olympics coming up in Rio de Janeiro, so very exciting, do you find that Vancouver is an adequate training ground for that?
Yeah, absolutely. Vancouver's great for sailing it. For the most part, there's lots of not wind days, but for me, I need to sail with other people. So Vancouver doesn't have anyone else that is sailing on those types of boats. So you always need training partners. So that's where we go on the road quite a bit to sail with others.
So we're doing a bit of a fitness theme on the show today, and we're just wondering, as a peak performance athlete like yourself, do you have any advice for regular people for keeping fit and healthy?
Well, I guess fitness is a marathon, it's not a sprint, so just keeping on top of it all the time, and so much has to do with diet as well. So, eating right, doing exercise every day, and getting outside and enjoying it. The best part is enjoying it, really.
Thank you so much for joining us today. Greatly appreciated.
Thank you.
Millions of people around the world turned in for Super Bowl 47. And as always, it was full of surprises, including a power outage early in the second half that stopped the world's biggest sports event for half an hour. And of course, who could forget Beyoncé's halftime performance, where she sang with her former girls group, Destiny's Child. But nothing could stop the Baltimore Ravens from winning the Super Bowl. The Ravens beat the 49ers with a final score of 34-31. While football was the focus on the field, one of the reasons many people tuned in was to catch a glimpse of this year's Super Bowl commercials. The unique and often risque ads are still being talked about and gaining millions of views on YouTube. Advertisers pay around $4 million for each 30-second spot. However, as Angela Jung reports, one Vancouver advertiser says few ads actually made an impression.
Together,
they're perfect. Each year, Super Bowl ads try to both provoke and amuse viewers. But for advertising planner John Haywood, there were few surprises.
A lot of the Super Bowl ads we kind of seen a couple of weeks before the Super Bowl event itself, actually just on YouTube.
Budweiser got a lot of attention for this heartwarming ad, but those providing feedback online were not the brand's usual customers.
It was a very female-skewed audience, so I don't really know if that was their target for Bud Beer. I'm not sure.
Canadian viewers didn't see the same ads as Americans, but they're all uploaded online for people to watch. Now, for those who did see it, they say the controversial ads are expected during the Super Bowl.
Well, probably because there's a couple of 100 million people watching and shock value to get people's attention.
Well, yeah, everyone loves to, get their publicity and get their voice out, so any way they can do it, I'm sure they'll try.
Love them, always entertaining, very expensive.
We're playing on the lights going out, the power going out. It was a good commercial. I thought that they had brilliant and strategic marketing.
One company who took advantage of the power failure was Oreo, who tweeted this during the halftime.
So a really good example of being super relevant to something that was happening real time and getting a lot of attention. It was trending.
Based on Oreo's success, these advertisers learned that the most impactful ads aren't the ones that cost millions. Angela Jung in Vancouver for BCIT Magazine.
Tickets for the PNE this year are going to be cheaper in an effort to boost attendance. The PNE says it's cutting admission prices from $20 to $16. The length of the fair will also drop from 17 days to 15 days. If you have any questions or comments regarding this program, please visit us online at bcit-broadcast.com or bcitbroadcastnews.ca. Well, that's it for BCIT Magazine today. I'm Amber Rockcliffe.
And I'm Jennifer Ferguson. Thanks to the staff and members for hosting us at the Richmond Olympic Oval. Thanks for watching.